I'm getting married in 3 months, but I'm considering calling off the wedding because of his parents. Update: thank you so much everyone for all the responses. A lot of comments have mentioned our ages and I'm 100% with you. I've always been against people marrying young and personally never saw myself ever even getting married. I guess in desperation I said yes to marriage because simply, I just wanted to be with him and that felt like the only way it was possible. In hindsight, I realized that was a very big illogical mistake on my part. When I agreed to the marriage I was in a very bad place mentally and wanted to desperately get away from my abusive mother and have now landed in another bad situation. I ended up calling my fiancé and said we needed to talk. He told his parents he was going to get some groceries and we met up. We drove around for about an hour and talked. I told him everything I said in my post and told him that I know it must be very hurtful for him to hear how much I hate his parents because he loves them, but I cannot do this or our relationship anymore. However, my fiancé wasn't hurt but instead admitted he resents them too. He expressed that in the future he would like to work on cutting them out of our lives or having very minimal contact with them. He said he also wishes we could move away. The problem is, because he works for his dad and his dad pays him well, like extremely well, he knows that if he rocks the boat, his dad will let him go and we're both left unemployed with a house that we cannot pay for. Before we got the house, he was scared his parents would kick him out and he would be homeless like they did to his older brother. I'm going to start encouraging and helping him to look for other jobs. I know it will be hard for him to wrap his head around making a lot less money, but I would much rather that than the mental stress his parents are putting us both through. My fiancé has also always worked for his dad since leaving school, and I know looking for jobs is very out of his comfort zone as he has never done it before. I think this process may take a while, so I am going to put the idea forward of cancelling the wedding ASAP. I hope that if one of us finds a job, we can start cutting ties with his parents so we can live and just spend time together like a normal couple without having to get married. I'm not sure if it is wishful thinking, but I will see how it goes over the next few weeks and see if he's actually willing to make these changes. If he doesn't follow through, then I know for sure that I will not go through with the marriage since his fear of disappointing his parents is greater than our life together. Original post: I, 22F, am getting married to my fiancé, 21M, in just over 3 months. All throughout our relationship, I've always struggled to get on with his parents, and the more people I meet who know them, I realize it isn't just me who can't stand them. Usually I love people's parents and get on with them very well. Many have adopted me as their own. However, my fiancé's family is very different. They are extremely religious, which I have nothing against, but it interferes tremendously with our relationship. We're never allowed to hang out just by ourselves, as that means we may have sex before marriage. So every time we want to go uptown or anywhere, someone has to come with us, which usually ends up being one of the parents. We just got a house together this week and I moved in, but my fiancé isn't allowed to come over without someone here, not even to drop house items off, let alone move in. My fiancé respects and loves his parents very much, so we stick to their rules, but this means usually to see him, I have to go to his parents' house. His parents are probably the worst, most childish people I have ever met. I had never met a 58-year-old woman who sulks, throws tantrums and has the emotions of a 5-year-old until I met his mother. Throw in the father, 59, who stirs and causes trouble to get reactions out of his wife and encourages her behavior. He tries to get a rise out of me too all the time. Every time I go to their house, I feel like I want to leave straight away once one of them opens their mouth. I told my fiancé that I will no longer be coming over as I want nothing to do with his parents. I don't want him to be in the middle anymore, but I cannot put aside mine and the parents' differences. I have tried over and over again, but I finally had enough. Should I really call off my marriage because I can't stand his parents? Meddling, abusive in-law parents compromised my marriage. The ex finished it off by refusing to stand up to them. I walked. Things don't look good. I'm sorry to hear that. Are you doing better without those negative forces in your life? Majority of the time, this doesn't change after marriage. If he cannot stand up for his future wife and understand your feelings, he will likely not stand up for his wife. I see way too many marriages start and end like this. You are about to be his family that should come first after only himself, and definitely before parents. If he can't instill boundaries now, there's a very tiny slim chance he will be able to do that after marriage. Piece of paper won't make a difference. That's what I'm coming to realize. His parents have such a major impact on him. I can't imagine him ever putting his foot down. I guess I already know he will always choose them. They're not going to not be involved once you're married. You're stuck with these people until they die. Personally, this sounds so crazy. I would not want to marry him. This isn't a parent problem. This is a 21-year-old man who won't draw boundaries problem. Don't marry a man who is still willing to ask how high when his parents say jump. Your relationship will always be his parents first, never you or him. He has a lot of growing up to do before marriage. If your relationship was meant to be, it will still be meant to be when he has grown a spine and has enough independence to be a partner instead of a child. You've hit the nail on the head with every comment. Thanks for sharing your thoughts. They've been a big help. I'm 25, terrified of karma getting back at me for my past mistake. I had a brief affair with a married woman when I was 17 to 18, she was in her early 30s I think. She then told me that she was recently divorced and wasn't looking for anything serious. I was a virgin back then and so was very happy this happened to me back then. As time passed, a part of me knew she was married. Many instances caused doubt, but I chose to ignore it. My biggest regret. It ended when her husband caught us. That was the worst day of my life. He never attacked me verbally or physically. I wish he did, but rather just asked me to leave. I was so shaken by what happened and I couldn't say anything, so I just left. I've never seen her nor him ever again. As time passed, I slowly started moving on and started dating again. I met my now GF 24, F now, in uni and have been with her for the past 4 years. We've been living together for the past 2 years and everything is going smoothly. She is the nicest and most loving person I've met. We both love each other very much and are very much compatible too. During the pandemic, I started using Reddit and after a few months, I came across a cheating story and that triggered something in me. All I could see was that guy's face. The sheer look of defeat in him. Thought I was over that but realized I wasn't. I know I made an unforgivable mistake, but now I'm too scared of karma getting back at me. During last month, I've read almost all cheating stories I could find. I wish I didn't, and now the guilt is eating me alive. No one except my sister knows this. Told her everything when it happened and made her promise not to tell anyone. Now it's really affecting my sleep. No one thinks anything is wrong as I never express this feeling outside. I do love my GF very much and I'm afraid I'll slowly start losing her. I don't know how to explain this feeling. It's like I want to cry but I can't. I'm typing this as I am in dire need of advice on how to move forward. TLDR, had a brief affair when I was 17 to 18 with a married woman early 30s, and the guilt is eating me and I'm terrified of karma affecting my happy relationship with my GF. Edit, I've been reading the comments and it was a huge relief to see some consoling words. I talked with my sister right after posting this. That was a huge relief to open up to someone. I've been planning on telling my GF. She too asked to do that. Today I'll be telling her. Haven't decided how yet. I'm not sure where it leads, but I hope she can understand me. Thanks again to anyone who reached out. I've read every single comment, and it did help me in one way or another. She lied to you and took advantage of you. You were 17, she was in her 30s. She knew what she was doing and you didn't. Please give yourself some grace. Part of being human is making a mistake and moving forward, learning from it. It's okay that you made a mistake. It might be helpful to talk to people. I know for me, the more I talk about hard things, the less power they have over me. Talk to your girlfriend. Seriously, you don't have to work through this alone. I know you mentioned you tried therapy and it didn't do much for you. Can you look into a new therapist? Also, writing things down is really cathartic. You're not a bad person, not in the slightest. You know, talking to your girlfriend about this now that you have 3 years under your belt isn't a bad idea. I didn't mention this to her when we met as I was too ashamed of what I did. Now if I tell her, would she see me in a different light? She's 24, F. I'm a 34-year-old married woman. The thought of having sex with a 17 to 18-year-old is legitimately disgusting to me. I wouldn't feel comfortable with anybody under the age of like 28 at the very least, but I'd prefer my age or a little older. Grown people should not bang teenagers. Full stop. Emo. There's such an enormous difference in life experience. You were sexually assaulted by someone who lied to and manipulated you. It's a married person's responsibility to their partner not to cheat. This is not your burden to bear, darling. First of all, get rid of Reddit once this post has helped you. Second, have you looked into therapy? You didn't hurt that man. His wife did. You were just the tool she used. Switch the genders for a minute in your head. What if it was a 17-year virgin girl, being lied to by a 32-old man? Who would you expect karma to catch up to? I think it might be good to start telling people that are safe. Maybe therapy. Maybe your girlfriend. My 28 meters wife, 28F, send pictures/videos of our bedroom activities to her sister, 31F. Throwaway account for obvious reasons. Me and my wife have been together for 11 years, married for 4, and have 2 children. We have the usual fight now and then, but overall we try and maintain a healthy relationship. Her sister has been married for about 12 years, with 2 children. She lives in a different town, and we all get along fine. About a month ago, I noticed my wife taking pictures and videos now and then of us in our private time. I didn't pay much attention to this as she says she likes looking at these pictures and videos when I travel for work, which is in IT. Yesterday I was setting up backups for our photos, videos, etc. of our phones and PCs, when I noticed there were duplications of the pictures and videos she took. After checking out why, I realized the pictures and videos was shared on WhatsApp. When sending media, the original picture/video will stay in your gallery, and WhatsApp makes a copy of the picture/video and stores it in WhatsApp images/sent. Tracking this back, I found out these were all shared with her sister. My wife and her sister are very close, and looking at the messages it seems her sister's sex life had become very stale, and she reached out to my wife for support and how to spice up their sex life. After back and forth communication over a few days, her sister wanted to see how my wife does these sexual actions. My wife initially declined, but after a lot of begging she relented. Her sister now uses the pictures and videos as masturbation material. I have never ever been in a situation like this, and have no idea what to do. Should I even bring this up or sweep it under the rug? Me and my wife do communicate pretty good, but I don't even know how to start this conversation. My wife hasn't sent anything to her sister for about 2 weeks, and she messaged her sister to say she will not send more. The fuck? Yep, this started weird then got worse and worse. No one's gonna talk about how this is illegal. Unconsensual distribution of porn, regardless of who it's being sent to and their relationship to who's sending it. You're in those videos/picture unwillingly. She's your wife, so I get not going to the authorities, but definitely talk to her. That's not okay and is honestly psycho behavior. I noticed you don't mention what you think and feel about this. So, what are your thoughts? Feelings? I would certainly bring it up because I would feel violated and disrespected. I want things to be as they originally were. I don't want this to escalate and become even more complicated. A more simple life equals much less stresses in life.